So now we're going to unpack the kayak. You can see here that the kayak seats come on top. When you open the box, these come right out of the box on top of the bag. These are the actual seats that go into the kayak. There are two of them. Two-person kayak, but there's actually a three-person kayak. There's another seat. It's called a bench seat, and it's inside. So anyway, these are the seats. We'll put it over to the side. And then this bag is designed to be able to go on your shoulders. There's straps on the back of the bag, so you can put them over your shoulders, so you can carry the bag like a backpack, and it just zips, unzips flat. You take the flap out, and the kayak is folded neatly in there. So let's see, there's some other stuff in here. Okay, there's the fin for tracking, the tracking fin. Put that over here. Gene, do you want to help? Sure. So we'll take some of these odds and ends out. We don't really know what they are yet. We just have to take everything out and figure it out.
Binoculars.
There's another one, I don't know what that is. Here's the patch kit. Patch kit, and see if this is actually the instructions for the product, if it's attached, I don't know. So Gene's taking the kayak out of the backpack. It's all wrapped up. Now it's important to remember here, when you're doing this, if you buy one of these, I think it's what's important, one of the things that's really important is you ought to make a record of unboxing for yourself, particularly when it comes to unrolling and unwrapping the kayak, because to be able to get it back into this bag, you're going to have to be careful about what you're doing here, and remember how you did it so that you can roll it back up and get it back inside this bag, which could be really difficult. Yeah, so that looks like the bottom because that's where the fin would go. Keep going. All right, so we're going to take it out of the bag and move the bag out of the way. So we'll just move this bag out of the way. So here's the backpack again. You see it? Oh, there's something else in there. Oh, here's the bench seat. It's an inflatable bench seat that goes between the two seats, and it connects to the floor with this Velcro, and it's inflatable, and yeah, so we'll see that later when we put it in. So anyway, so that's the backpack. There's the straps again for wearing it like a backpack. Okay, I was telling you, it's pretty well designed. It is kind of heavy. It weighs about 60 pounds, so it's not for the faint of heart. You're carrying this thing. Yeah, so that's out of the way. As I mentioned, Air Kayaks, they provided us with two sets of paddles, or two paddle sets, whatever, I don't know. But these are canning paddles, fairly good quality paddles. They're aluminum with a carbon fiber paddle. So these are actually good paddles. And we got two of them. And we also got this airkayaks.com inflatable or high pressure pump for the kayak. So
Inflatable pump.
yeah, inflatable pump. So this came complimentary. This was free because we went through Air Kayaks. They provided this all for free. It's $120 value. So that was a pretty good deal. Now I believe the kayak. I believe that there's a foot pump that's available through Aqua Glide, but I think the high pressure pump is better. All right, so we're going to unfold this thing. So here we go. So it looks like the way we've got this is this would be the bottom, aft, and then we unfold the forward. Can you slide it down that way?
Basically, you put that there, and then you roll it up from the floor.
Yeah, the important thing to remember is, there's a ridge here too in the forepeak.
these things down and then you
Pull
go
it back that way, please. So you can see, this is the front end of the kayak. That's the back end of the kayak. Actually, let me move the camera. There's the front end of the kayak. Gene, could you pull the front end up, and then I'll pan down. So there's the front end. That's the front end of the kayak right there. As you can see, storage bungees there. And then the length of the kayak is here, and then that's the aft end. Gene, can you go ahead and grab the aft end of the kayak and lift that up? Go ahead and unfold it. And that's the aft end. And more bungees. You can just leave it on storage. You can just go ahead and leave it open. It's also got these molded in handles. You notice that could you pick it up? Show the handle at the front. There's these handles. They're really nice. They're triple stitched nylon with a rubber handle at the front and the back. And there are some along the sides of the kayak too that we'll see in a minute. But anyway, so that's how it's folded. So basically, you're folding the back and the front in, and then you're just sort of rolling it over from the front till you get to the back. Yeah. So let's hope that we can duplicate that when we start.
It's like this goes, and then it's about a foot of a fold.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
And then you roll it.
So it looks like yeah. So the folds to roll should be about 12 inches, which will allow you to get it back in the bag properly. We hope. All right, you can go ahead and unfold that front part because we're going to go ahead and put it together. You can really tell that this thing is made very well because when you handle it, it's very heavy. The inflatable bladders are very, very thick and very heavy, so it seems like a very very well made. So far, so good. So there it is, all folded out. Now we got to fold the sides out. So you're basically just folding the sides you're flattening them and folding them into the boat. Okay, when you're ready to fill your kayak, you need to start with the floor first, according to the instructions that we received with the boat. They're Boston valves, which means that they have to be properly secured to the ring plate before you can start filling them. So you have to screw the Boston valve into the ring plate first, and then you attach your pump to the inside part of the Boston valve, and then it comes with a little cap that you can cap it after you're done filling it. So we start with the Boston valve in the floor, and we pump up the floor first. So we're going to do that. Gene's going to put the hose into the Boston valve, and I'm going to start pumping.
So
The instructions recommend that you inflate the floor to 1 psi. We don't have a pressure gauge, so we're going to have to guesstimate what that is. All right, and then you just start pumping. Oh, and for those of you that might be wondering, the manufacturer does not recommend the use of an air compressor because it'll overinflate, and you could damage the bladder. So this is the preferred method. Now, an electric pump of this sort, probably okay, if you don't like going up and down all day. Okay, so we've pumped up the floor, and like I said before, we don't have a gauge, so the floor is inflated. Gene's going to demonstrate how firm it is by pushing down on it. As you can see, we are thinking this is probably about 1 psi, which is what it calls for. Obviously, the first thing the first obvious situation that's come to mind is that we need a gauge, and these valves you can't just use a bicycle gauge or a tire gauge because the valves won't accommodate. So you're going to have to get an inline gauge that fits in line on the pump somehow. So we're gonna have to go and look and see if we can find something like that. Maybe Air Kayaks sells a gauge. We'll do a little research and update you on that. But first issue is you really need a gauge if you want to do this properly. Okay, so now the second step after the floor is to inflate either of the sides. So since we're on this side of the kayak, we'll just inflate this side first. And Jean's just going to show you. She's going to insert it just the same way as the floor. You make sure the Boston valve is screwed into the ring plate, and then just insert the end of the pump that fits into the Boston valve and start pumping. So, Jean. All right, so we've got the one side pumped up. Jean just finished pumping it up, and she's going to detach the valve. Now, on these Boston valves, they're a one-way valve, so when she pulls the filler tube out, it won't release the air because it's got a check valve on it. And so now she just caps it off, and we can move over to the other side. Now, the difference between the sides and the bottom says 1 psi, and the sides call for 2 psi. And when you look at the sides, the firmness it's pretty firm. And you can see that it doesn't depress that much, and you can do the old thumb test. You can hear how inflated that is. And that's good because obviously that's the support. So now we're going to move over to the other side, inflate the other side, and that should be it. We'll see what we got after that. Okay, so now we have both sides of both sides of the kayak are now inflated to what we are assuming is about 2 psi. Don't mind the cat there. He won't be kayaking with us. So the next step, according to the instructions, is to insert the seats. And there are two different kinds of seats. There are the main seats, which have like a rigid back and a padded bottom that connect to the Velcro. And then there is a saddle seat which goes in between the two, which we'll show you, but we're not going to install in this particular video. So now to putting in the seats. Okay, we've installed the back seat, and I'm going to zoom in a little here so you can see how the back seat is installed there. We're going to install the front seat in a minute, but I'll show you the actual installation of the front seat, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Don't mind the cat. Jean's going to go ahead and get into the seat and show you how it supports her weight and her back. How's that, Jean? Is that comfortable?
Nice, very comfortable.
You know, could you stretch your legs out?
Plenty of room.
So you can stretch your legs out, plenty of room. Okay. Now Jean's a little thinner than me, so she fits in there a little bit better. I'm a bit more of a tight squeeze. So I'm going to try to get in that seat right now too and see how that works. So here we go. Actually, it's good.
Yeah.
It's very nice. All right. Good. So now we're going to install the front seat and show you how that works, how we do that. There's Jean's got the seat. Right there.
In the back.
There's a little storage pocket in the back of the seat, yeah, right there. A little Velcro and a little storage pocket, so you stick stuff in there. The bottom of the seat has Velcro sewn on it. I don't know if the camera picks that up. Jean, can you show that? Mm-hmm. The camera pick that up. Yeah, see? Velcro, and those Velcro strips just connect to the Velcro strips there to prevent the seat from sliding forward and back, and it gives it a good foundation. Now, where you place the seat is really up to you, and I guess it basically depends where you place it in the boat on the way you balance the boat based on your weight and the occupants. So we're going to move that seat. We're going to put that seat fairly forward so that there's a lot of space in between so that Jean or whoever can stretch their feet out, and we can put a lot of gear back there in the middle, like a cooler and all that. So Jean's going to start placing the seat, and we'll show you how that works. So keep in mind when you're putting the seats in, keep in mind as to where the rings are. Show them the rings, Jean. Hold up one of those rings. No, the rings on the side. Yeah, see the rings that she has her hands in? You have clips on the seat that have to clip into that. Those clips are what holds the backrest. And you have a forward one and an aft one. So you want to make sure that you place the seat in a position where when you fully extend the strap, the clip can actually reach to the ring. We had some trouble in the back seat where I had the seat a little too far forward, and I couldn't elongate the strap enough to get to the ring, so we had to move the seat a little. Okay, so Jean has now put the seat in, and now what she's doing is she's adjusting the straps that go forward to the clips forward, and those straps are designed to keep the back of the seat from collapsing on you when you lean back against it. So you see, it's just a simple matter of attaching the metal clips to the rings and adjusting the straps so that the seats don't go backwards, and so that they're nice and snug and even. Pull it forward, there you go, just like that, nice and even, and then that way you can sit in it and lean back, and the back doesn't collapse on. Now, what that seat is supposed to have is another set of rings right there. Jean's holding it, so you can see there's another set of rings, and that's supposed to have another strap, a smaller strap with plastic rings that should connect somewhere to a D-ring at some point, yeah, like where she's touching, and that prevents the seat from folding forward when not in use. Unfortunately, we've unpacked everything from our bag, and it looks like we're missing those straps. The back seat has them, but this front seat didn't have those straps, so we're going to have to contact the company and see what we have to do to get the straps. But that's how the seats go in. Basically, you can move them back and forth. When you get to the water, what you're supposed to do is, before you put the straps on and you clip them into the D-rings, is you're supposed to get in the boat and move the seats around based on your weight and the balance of the boat. Once you get them in the proper place for balance, then you connect the straps. But we went ahead and connected everything here just for the purpose of this video, so that we could see what it looks like. So now what we're going to do is we're both going to get into the kayak, and you'll be able to see, I hope, if there's enough room here for the camera, you'll be able to see what it looks like when we're both in the kayak. So I'm going to move the camera back a bit.
But
there we go. Yeah, we'll put the footrest. We'll put the rest of the gear in a moment. Okay, well, Jean, there you go. Jean put a footrest in. She put it in backwards, but that's okay, because if you push on it, you're just going to come off. You got to turn it over, turn it around. So the boat comes with footrests, as she's demonstrating. Very simple installation. They're just a PVC pipe wrapped in some cushioned neoprene, and then covered in a nylon, ripstop nylon, and it's basically just a place for you to rest your foot, which is very, very nice, actually. It's kind of handy. So anyway, we're going to get in the boat now and see what it looks like with two people in here. All right? I guess I'll get in the back. You get in the front.
straps on.
Oh yeah, that's nice, the footrest. So this is a 15-foot kayak. There's plenty of room here for lots of gear or a third person. Obviously, if there was a third person, you'd have to put the saddle seat in between, and you'd probably need to move the seats, the front seat more forward, the back seat a little more aft. But I mean, even if I wanted to sit with my legs crossed, I could sit with my legs crossed very comfortably in this boat. This is a very, very nice boat. I really am impressed with the construction. It's not easy for you to see on the camera, but the nylon that's used to cover the bladders, the air bladders, is really high quality, very heavy, stitched nylon. The D-rings are all connected with a long piece of extremely heavy nylon that's stitched directly to the cover, and they're integral to the piece of nylon. The boat has places to put your paddles, to store the paddles, and so they don't go flying out of the boat if you get a wave, or
Right here.
yeah. So very, very nice. What do you think, Jean? You happy?
I like it. I'm ready to get in the water.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Ready to go kayaking. All right, so we got a couple more things that we need to do before we're done here. We're gonna flip the boat over and attach the tracking fin so that you can see how we do that. Okay, as you can probably tell, we flipped over the kayak upside down, and what we're going to do now is we're going to install the tracking fin. Jean has it in her hand there. Show the people the tracking fin. Comes with a little safety pin that's connected by lanyard, and it's a pretty simple installation. Go ahead, Jean. What you do is you place the front of the fin into the fin box, and then you press down and slide aft. Then you just push down on the back and it seats, and once that's done you take the pin and you basically just insert it, push it all the way through, and the fin is locked in place. So there you go. So now we have a completely inflated and ready to go kayak. And then Jean wanted to make one point about the small straps on the back of the seats.
Oh, you don't actually really need them because you're leaning back in the seat anyway, so the front straps are preventing you from leaning back too far. And then if you want to fold the seats down, you just fold them down. And if the back straps were there, you'd have to undo the back straps to fold it down. But if you don't have them, it's easy enough just to push down. So it may not be that big a deal if we're missing the back straps of the seats.
Now look at the boat. As far as the handles are concerned, we were talking about moving the boat. The boat has a number of handle positions. One up in the forepeak of the boat. Right there is Jean's grabbing hold of it. And another one all the way aft of the boat in the very back, in the transom area, like that. And then we've got these two midships right here on either side, which make for great stability, great handling when you have the portage, if you have to go around an obstruction or whatever. And the boat comes with these splash guards also. This one's folded down. They have these little splash guards here to help keep water from getting in the boat, back and front. This boat happens to have a drain all the way in the back. I can't show it to you. The camera won't be able to see it back there, but there's a water drain back there. You just open the valve and you can just lift up on the front of the boat and the water will drain right out of there, which is kind of handy. So anyway, that's the Aquaglide Columbia, XL, XP, the Aquaglide Columbia XP Tandem XL. They come in, this particular model, this particular company makes the Columbia in 3 different models. It comes in the Columbia XP1, which is the smallest of the 3 Columbias, and then the Columbia, which is a single person, the Columbia XP1, single person kayak, and then the Columbia XP2, which is a 2-person kayak, and then of course this one, which is the Columbia XP Tandem XL, which is the 3-person kayak.